When was the last time you visited an art museum or an art gallery? I guess you haven't visited any. Let me take you on a tour to one of the best art museums or art galleries you can visit while in Yenagoa Bayelsa State. If you're a resident of Yenagoa and you've not visited these places I'm about to mention, that means you're not exploring the rich cultural heritage of Bayelsa State. The Azaiki Art Museum and Mayor Gallery are places you should visit. Come with me, let me show you around. Experience the magic of art at Niger Gallery, an art gallery owned by an artist. Come and learn more about the cultural heritage of Africa.
I am Wilcox Deborah. I am an artist and I'm here at the Macaulay Etele Art Gallery, also known as May Art Gallery. Here at the gallery, we have lots of beautiful artworks, ranging from abstract, realism, surrealism, and lots more. I also have one of my most beautiful paintings here I titled Fela, King of Afrobeats. It's a painting that talks about Fela and his music style. I have some of his music titles like The Perambulator, Yellow Fever, Trouble Sleep, Yanga Wake Up. It's just generally about the strength that comes with Fela's music style. If you're in Bayelsa, Yenagoa, and you're an art lover, this is the best place to be. The artworks are very affordable.
I am very, very happy to be associated with the Mayor Gallery, the Maketele Art Gallery in Yenagoa, capital of Bayelsa State. I am impressed that a Nigerian, who though is a Canadian citizen also, will decide to abandon everything just to come home and make his contribution to the development and progress of his country. What Maketele and his wife are doing needs to be encouraged. I commend them because like people will say, why didn't he set it up in Port Harcourt? People have the buying power there. Why don't you set it up in Lagos? People would have been more interested, and because that an art gallery is where you sell these things. Then people talk about Abuja and so on and so forth. I think that even in Yenagoa, we have the buying power. It's just that a lot of people are still ignorant what art can do to the beauty of any environment, and the importance and the story and the history that an artwork can bring to your living room or to your bedroom. Let me use this opportunity to say well done to Maketele for coming to add value to our city and our state.
My name is Macaulay Etele. I am a self-taught artist, and I am the CEO of Mia Gallery here in Yenagoa. In my earlier days, I went to Canada on a schooling trip and studied civil engineering technology. After my civil, I also obtained a bachelor's degree in education. I am inviting the people of Yenagoa, people of Bayelsa, Nigeria as a whole, and the international citizenry to come to Macaulay Etele Art Gallery here in Yenagoa. The reasons are this. If you love African art, you have come to the right place. Here in Mia Gallery, we produce African art, both in realism, contemporary, and you name it. We have original paintings on canvas, or linen, or any other surface that you wish to have. I also work here with other artists from the region, that's Niger Delta region, Bayelsa, Delta, River State, at least to mention. We are here. We do produce commissioned works. So if you're interested in a commissioned painting, please, this is the place to come, Mia Gallery. Don't forget that.
Discover the beauty of the past and the creativity of the present at the Azaiki Art Museum. Immerse yourself in a world of color, texture, and emotions as you explore our vast collection of masterpieces. The Azaiki Art Museum is a unique art museum that tells about the Niger Delta story, especially the oil river story and the slave era. We also have a library where you can read and make your research.
I'm Ekene Euphemia Nathaniel, the visiting curator of the Niger Delta, the visiting curator of Prof. Azaiki's foundation, Upstairs here is the Museum of African Art. Museum of African Art is divided into 3 compartments. We have the ethnographic section, we have the Niger Delta Oil Museum, and we have the art gallery. Prof. Steve Azaki decided to bring up something like the Niger Delta Oil Museum in order to preserve and conserve the history of the oil explorative activities of the Niger Delta region. Well, having set up a facility like this, we have been receiving visitors far and wide concerning the valuable content of this facility. And we implore that visitors, even outside Nigeria, come to see what the Niger Delta Oil Museum entails, because all we've been hearing of is the Niger Delta region and militancy, without knowing what is the reason for the militant agitation in the Niger Delta region. And so we ask that people should not be reading it on the pages of papers alone, but we have something germane here for us to get our history at a glance while being relaxed.
My name is Baraswa Edith Lambert. Visiting the Azaki Art Museum, I was captivated by the rich cultural heritage and artistic expression showcased at the museum. The vibrant colors, the cultural art designs, and powerful storytellings captured my heart. The Azaki Art Museum has so many Niger Delta historical paintings that will educate and teach you the beauty and blessings of the Niger Delta region.
It's Wilcox Bra Latte. You can call me Bra Mix. Yes, I'm a visual artist. I hail from Bayelsa, Southern Niger to be precise. I'm standing at the Azaki Museum, where you can find some of the cultural artifacts, artworks, and paintings. Okay, if you want to know about Bayelsa, Southern Niger, and Niger Delta in general, you can come to this environment and then feed your eyes with a lot of books, a lot of artifacts.
The Steve Azaki Library, the Art Museum, the Niger Delta story is where you want to be when you get in there. See, Steve Azaki is so well read, but so humble in person. It's so much accolade given to this nice, soft-spoken man. I mean, I've only known him for maybe about a month, and he has invited us to different occasions in the library and his home. It's amazing. I can say, you know, when you meet somebody with so much qualification, so much education, his focus on education is magic. Everything about that library is to educate. If you're a researcher, please go there. You will find a lot of information that will help you in your project. If you're a student, don't fail to go there. If you're in Yenagoa and you haven't been to Azaki Library, then you have not started studying. Say, I know, I was there. The emotions, and I speak with power right now, emotional power that the Azaki Library gave me. And I know we have something growing here in Bayelsa. My favorite part there is the museums and the art gallery, which contain the crude oil museum, the slave history, and the cultural paintings that I haven't seen in a long time of the Niger Delta. It was a pleasure to see that the whole picture I got on the internet when I typed Niger Delta is not all that was there. The beauty, the people, the African cultural, entertaining part of life that was portrayed. The difficulties were also shown. So these 2 galleries in Yenagoa, that's Professor Steve Azaki's gallery and Macaulay Italy Art Gallery called Mia Gallery in Yenagoa. If you are here, don't fail. If you don't want to do anything else, don't fail to visit these 2 locations for your tourism entertainment.
When the president of the African Museum visited the museum, he said that it's one of the best museums in concepts. In conception, the concept is one of the best in Africa. But I used to go to Port Harcourt weekends just to read newspapers in my uncle's house. So I know that growing up in this part of the world, people need to seek knowledge. People need information. And I felt, as someone who has traveled to 89 countries, I felt I have a responsibility to share what I know with my people. I've been to several museums in Oslo, Norway, in Moscow, in Beijing, in Guangzhou, in Dagestan, in Turkmenistan, and Canada, all over the world, South Africa, the Mandela Museum, and so on and so forth. But the concept of this, our own, is designed like what you see in America, the presidential libraries. I've been to the one in Boston. You know, those who are seeking knowledge, you don't have to go far. Just go to the Azaiki Public Library. Then you go to the museum. Then we have two museums there. We have the Niger Delta Museum. There is a part that was done by the South African company. And the South African, we spent 550,000 at that time. Only that part. And that part talks about the entire story of the Niger, summarize the story of the Niger Delta, from slavery to colonialism to independence to the Civil War to Boro's revolution of the 12 days revolution of Boro, to writers and agitators like Ken Saro-Wiwa and the hanging of the Ogoni Nine. All is demonstrated in that small space. Then you go to oil exploration in Nigeria. It started from 1956 when oil was discovered in Oloibri, and in 58 when it was started exporting oil to date. Then we have a part that chronicles happenings that are happening in the Niger Delta from 1800 to date. Then in a barrel of oil is represented and how much barrel was first produced, what are the communities, which are the communities that oil is found, production is going on. The entire gamut of a story of the oil production in Nigeria is represented in that barrel. So then when you go to the other side, the opposite, which is the physical part of the museum, you will see our cultural heritage, rich culture. You'll see drums that have been around for more than 100 years. You see different items of slave trade. The Azaiki Public Library, situated in Yenagoa, is the place to go for any young man. You cannot be a young man and claim that you are cosmopolitan. You are in today's world. You are exposed and you have not been to that library. How do you explain that to yourself? That you live in a city that has this beauty, this powerful warehouse of knowledge, and you've not been to? How can you say you are a student or you are a youth corps serving in Bayelsa and you leave this country and somebody will ask you in America, ask you in Canada, ask you in Poland that have you been to the Azaiki Museum, and you will say no? That's a shame. It's a shame to education, it's a shame to the power of knowledge, it's a shame to exposure, it's a shame to a disservice to the people of Bayelsa. You have to know the city, you have to know the people, you have to know where you served as a copper. So my advice is never too late. Any day you wake up, or any time you wake up, as they say, it's your morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Go to the Azaiki Public Library and seek knowledge. It is there, available. Thank you.
The Niger Gallery is located at number 19 Cinema Street, off Osbolek Deu Road, Yenagoa Bayelsa State. And the Azaiki Art Museum is located at Ingbi Road, Amarata, Yenagoa Bayelsa State.
Niger Art Gallery and the Azaiki Museum are the best art facilities to visit in Yenagoa.